Hello and welcome. Welcome to the June edition of Malta Poets Society online open mic. We are always increasing our reach, and I'm happy to say we are 6 people from practically 6 different locations on planet Earth. Lovely. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world, even for people listening to this later on. I'm going to start with a haiku this time, which is my own contribution, or one of them for tonight. And this is a haiku about haiku. So just for listeners or people who might not know what a haiku is a Japanese style poem made of very short 3 lines and even shorter syllables. So it's like what they call originally, but the closest definition is a syllable. 5 syllables in the first and in the third lines, and 7 syllables in the middle, if it's the long version. Because if it's the shorter version, it's 11 syllables in total, not 17, and it's 3-5-3. I tend to write in the longer version haiku, the 5-7-5. And this is my contribution for tonight. I wrote this not even a week ago. So the haiku is called Haiku. So basically, I wrote a haiku about haiku. And this is it. Oh, how interesting, using the same structure to write about itself. And that's the poem called Haiku. So welcome once again. Now we're having people who have not yet met Paulo in person. And Paulo is the person who instituted Malta Poets Society in 2017, if I remember correctly. And we used to meet in bars and cafes and nice intimate settings, warm, small places usually. We sometimes had quite a few people. We other times had like very little people. It doesn't matter. We just meet on a monthly basis and we share the beauty of culture, poetry, and song or dance or music or art or combinations, as we have also had on these online open mics. So I start now. I think this is the first time I'm gonna keep it going. Quotation by Paulo. I have quite a lot because I was one of his closest friends and connections, and I used to take notes of his wisdom. And he was a wise person, believe me. So one of his quotes says this: if no one hears you, you don't exist. So this is in keeping with the ethos of Malta Poets Society. We give a space to people, to be heard. And this is it's absolutely amazing. So Paolo, bless you, and thank you so much for starting this off. So today we have a nice combination, shifted more towards the poetry side. Sometimes we have a bit of a mix. Sometimes we have other things. I always end up with a piece of music, so that's gonna happen. But of course, later on, stick around for the music at the end. So can I just invite maybe one of our newer people, maybe Mervyn, Keelan, I don't know if you sent something in the chat. If not, Claire will be, or if yes, Claire will be monitoring that.
Yes,
could I invite?
it's here.
It's here, good. Okay, beautiful. So maybe we go Mervyn and then Keelan's poem and then Kieran, Julian, Claire and me, something like that. So would Mervyn be ready to start? Would you like to start, Mervyn, and offer us your contribution? The first one, round 1. So ting, 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 round 1.
Okay, all right. So the first one is called Submitted for the Page. Okay. I can write about hydrangeas drying out from autumn's early frost, hostile winds rapping, whipping rumbles against reladens, forest trees twisting stitched close enough to suspend seasonal branch leaves from leaving before their cider and pumpkin tint is painted on the terrain canvas. I can write about clouds, vacant from my balcony, small mountain town view, stars clear enough to connect the dots, feel shallow chills echo in the darkness, I swaddle in layered blankets. Only magpies still venture across the sky. I can write about a child in the wheelchair, stripped teal, yellow, and white shirt, blue glasses at a French Discovery Museum. A museum teaching about accommodation, empathy through awareness, while the boy cheats with his feet adjusting around corners, kicking through flapping doors, while this imprint stick over time? I can write about leaving America, our community cultivating children comfortable to bully those different culturally, those not historically brick passed on in their community, as my son listening to these children, their lips pricking pins of pain, tart candy sour on my son's tongue without sweetness, hanging his hope in their words. I can write about vulnerability, of my words canceled, placed in tunnels, deposit boxes, safes in abandoned storage. My words tumbled and flattened under a social spiral of messages as a game of street football, smear with fear, as kids pile on, giggling while continuing to leap on, losing the air in my lungs beneath the stack. My thoughts are crafted by a flower's fragility. My vulnerability is a tidal wave, building empathy from my childhood, though stained as coffee to a cup. My teeth, dreaming in the stars with goosebump skin, shivering nights. My words stuck in the struggle of food stamp poverty. Still black bars on our home windows, insecurity. Mother's memory revealing we have a roof over our head, Christmas, wearing a straitjacket filled with pine cones, scratching against my brown skin stories. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Wow. Wow. Could I just ask you to maybe give a bit of context, first of all, about you and who you are and the poem that you just read, if it's okay with you?
So, my history is I was born in England, family's Jamaican, and since then I've like lived all over from Japan, America. Probably more than half of my life has been in Europe. Um, I did spoken word pretty much for about 25 years before I went and did the academics and got the MFA and have been pushing serious publications in the last 4 years. So I've been published by 64 journals for about 80 poems in 8 countries. And I have a new collection coming out in London. 30 September is the release date. Um, and getting ready to push that. Our launch party is going to be 1 October in London. So really excited about that.
Wow, blessings. If you would
Yeah.
like to send me any links about your work and stuff, I'm happy to have them placed in the description box of the video when I upload it to YouTube and whatever. So please do send me via email. That would be lovely.
Definitely. I have the Eventbrite that I can send you, and I have my portfolio page that gives the
Perfect.
details about me and like even gives access to see other of my published work. So what I read was published by a journal called Willow Weeps Review. I think last year, I believe. So yeah.
Super.
Yeah, and the poem,
Lovely.
just to give an idea of the poem was, there's always the frustration for writers of what gatekeepers are allowing to get published. So what the poem does is it looks at the different perspectives of what people may want to receive in their journals. That's why the title is called Submitted for the Page. And so it gives you these different voices, but at the end of the voice, the last voice really speaks to where my heart is. As opposed to I can write any of these, but my heart is with the social person that I am that's lived this life. And then I'm going to speak my truth, even though I know in many places that kind of work may not get accepted, but I push on to let that voice be heard. So.
Absolutely brilliant. I'm gonna heart that. Absolutely lovely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Lovely. Glad to have you with us. Much appreciated. And hope to see you on other episodes as well. Could we
Definitely.
proceed with Keelan's poem, maybe?
Yeah.
Claire?
Yeah, sure. It's called Venice. What's the point of all this if it doesn't feel perfect? If it isn't a silver stream gliding through my heart, making me feel electric? What's the meaning of a world that isn't endlessly illuminated? Why should I bother? What's the point of feeling love in a world of 3 dimensions, a world of time? Love is too beautiful, a slender maiden watering a flower by the old stone wall, and time is murder, a black rain falling but never knowing the destruction that it causes. I'm up here on the roof of a song. Join me up here. I am chords. I am pulse. I am a borrowing that pays and a payment that borrows. I am the heartbeat of an infant. I am in the thick of things. I can give shape to what I don't yet know. I can summon spheres. My shoes I pried off a Spaniard who died gloriously by shipwreck, and my smile is that kind for which women light candles. Give me something, mean it so hard that the sky bends backwards, so hard that the buildings weigh nothing but sound. Become meaning with me, sit in the corner of my heart and smile. Release me with your certainty. Strike a match on the corner of my family tree. Lead me through the woods. I will summon worlds to hear our evenings. I will make the sunset smile. I can do it. I promise you I can. I can weave your regrets into gold leaf. We can walk through the graveyards of Venice, signing checks. We'll need no language but our eyes, no mandate but outrageous beginnings. And no matter what happens, we'll find each other again and again and again.
Lovely. Thank you so much. Thank you, Claire, for reading, and thank you, Keelan, for sharing. Lovely. So if you have another one for round 2, let us know. And in the meantime, could I ask Kiera Donald? I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name right, so I apologize from before. Please do give us a bit of context about who you are, where you're from, and maybe something about the poem if you can. Thank you so much. Kiera, up to you.
Okay, so first you were saying it correct. My name is Kiera Donald. Secondly, I hope you guys don't mind if I stay off camera. I'll put a picture up or something. I'm sorry about that. But
That would be
I'm
nice,
actually,
yeah.
I'm from Chicago, Illinois. So I'm from the States, and a little bit about the poem that I'm gonna do. It's just, it's a poem about Black women and just how we, yeah. And, you know, just maybe some of the thoughts we go through, or, you know, some of the things we may be feeling. So I hope you guys like it.
Looking forward. Thank you. Go ahead.
Alrighty. So this piece is called Monolith. What is a Black woman? If not her words, proverbs dancing on our tonsils once rose-colored lenses start losing their petals, false gods on pedestals start losing their platform. We speak truth to power. What is a Black woman, if not her thoughts? Professional escape artists running free in our own imaginations, coloring in pale canvases to see some resemblance. It's exhausting not being able to see your dreams in living color. What is a Black woman, if not her strength? Glass has nothing on the fragility of us, multifaceted layers of coping, teetering the balance of superwoman and savior, all to fit into the standard of worthiness we have at the top of the shelf with no access to a ladder. We shrink ourselves so far into a corner that we don't realize all we had to do was reach up. Is the work worth the stretch? What is a Black woman, if not her work ethic? A duty we're bound to, nestled in the bellies of our mothers. Our birth certificates, a commitment to service to a world that will use our backs as stepping stones. Born with semicolon conditioning, we're too often stuck between a rock and a hard place, void of the luxury of taking breaks. Even when our systems force, quits, shut down, we reboot and hope no one saw us buffering on the way out the door. What is a Black woman, if not her name? A spectacle who prefers to be called by name, not pronoun. Being reduced to a single syllable is upsetting me and my homegirls. Fantasies, finding comfort and privilege. Our personalities are not characters you can occupy at your disposal. The passion behind our persistence is personal, not a joke. What is a Black woman, if not her melanin? Beauty contorted onto a silhouette, our ancestors created us in their Bibles, praying for the day we fall in love with ourselves. They've come to witness the union at the intersection of racism and sexism, that we would have our skin to love and hold, for better or worse, melanin rich as it pour over in sickness, it nurses us back to health, that it would love us, comfort us, and keep us, embracing our heritage and being audacious for as long as we shall live. What is a Black woman, if not the love of a significant other? We can't receive love baked with empty promises, lacks in comparison to the love we can give me, myself, and I. Uses sugar-coated monologues to soothe the sweet tooth of loneliness. It must be so sweet to live in delusion. We'll cherish our golden hearts instead of settling for golden specks in a murky field, born with capes on so we can save ourselves. What is a Black woman, if not a superhero with powers we don't know how to wield? What is a Black woman to a society that thinks her a monolith? Signed, a Black woman and her words, speaking life, patiently waiting to be heard. Thank you.
Unmute myself. Wow, lovely. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. May I invite Malaysia into the house?
Oh, hi.
Hello.
Yeah. Beautiful poetry so far. Yeah.
Absolutely, definitely agree. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Can I share screen?
Claire, I believe you might want to give permission to share screen. And in the meantime, we have Kelsey joining. Mela. There we go. Hello and welcome, Kelsey. We've already started. We had some incredibly good poetry. Fantastic.
Julian, I've made you co-host. You should be able to share. Yeah.
Yeah, can you see?
Yeah, good. Yes.
Yes, we can.
Hold on. Okay. The Last Poet, year 2037. His eyes are roomy, his dreams, nightmares that once filled a room. He no longer cares to zoom, all is dreary, all is gloom. Who wants to hear about waters rising when another turd has been crowned? When crypto is as worthless as the pound, when artificial bards are just hacked clowns, when all the poets have drowned. They say in jest, he is a man of letters whose poetry posts are all returned to sender, an unnatural, inorganic verse maker, a wielder of urban farmed words, anti-pastoral, bottom feeder, heart bleeder, wacky reader. You could follow the brambles of his veins to his bristly heart, coiled like an unclaimed fist in search of a fight. Consider him a cleaver of conjoined lines, twin shredder of the sublime of crooked feet, metrically unrhymed. To say he was a foil is an unworthy metaphor. To say he was more switchblade than saber is a closer simile. He was the forged black steel blade of a katana, precision slicer, poetic polarizer, perfect dicer. But the years have started to take their toll, weigh in his soul. His bold words lay stashed in cold ether, fossilized in the cloud's hold. His pen, once a lance, is frozen in midair. He's a knight lost in his grail quest, a boxer knocked out in his final test, a drunkard at the bar who has become just another pest. All that was poetry is now impaled in his mind's eye, silenced in inner ears, in trembling fingers over lifeless pages. He walks on broken eggshells in an emptied nest, an overripe fruit rotting on the branch of the tree, topmost leaf on overstory, still reaching for manna. When a poet falls in his own flaming forest alone, does anyone hear the crackle of his last burning stanza? Every new day comes the realization of his own uncoiling mortality, another step into the flickering shadows, another hesitant crawl towards the light. The dial turns towards senility and he loses context, musicality, meaning. Only forlorn faces now that stare at him from cobweb ceilings. Voices become soft echoes in a vast choral chamber. All cadences are hushed. All rhythms dissolve into an amnesiac sea. The tide pulls ever further away from the shore. The sands slip into slumber. He is a pilgrim, gripped in godless fear, a nomad in search of an oasis of tears. He hobbles through a cave to face his final hibernating bear. Alas, a glimmer of truth appears in the horizon. His dead companion barks in the distance, and he seizes the moment, scribbling furiously before it's lost in a mirage of his own making. His benevolent ghost muse smiles in the shadows. His wise dragon snorts further afield in misty meadows. The future yanks him up the Sisyphean mountain in a palliative noose, even as his past coils around his toes, a poison creeper on the loose. At some point on that mound, he makes a stand, and the grassy knoll catches up with the man. He gives in and heeds its unherring call, reproduces the notes, the missing memo to all. In the distance, a church bell tolls. He lets the imagined sirens sing a tremulous melody, and in the end, the saints release his arthritic hand, unlocks all the shades of gray, and lets the colors flow again. Another poem, his last, unfurls from the sodden earth to whisper, "You are not alone. You are not alone. You are not alone." Poetry needs us all to know we are not alone. Thank you.
Whoa, thank you so much. Lovely, lovely. So welcome, Kelsey. I don't know if you would like to offer something. Maybe you have poetry, prose, song, dance, art, or whatever. Please do take your time to maybe write in the chat. Claire will pick it up from there. In the meantime, can I invite who's next? Who's next? Oh, Claire, with your own. Claire, with your own. Lovely, lovely to hear that. Lovely to hear that. Thank you, Mervyn. Beautiful, beautiful. Much appreciated.
Okay, so this is just a short poem that I entered a poetry competition. I didn't get anywhere, but it was just when I was born early, and I think maybe due to circumstances beyond my mother's control, she didn't really want to have me at the time. And she might have gone along and done something about it, but it didn't work, if you get me. Okay, so this is called Rainbow Girl. Rainbow Girl. Tiny pink 2-pounder eye, only 6 months in the making, realizing as orange tints the skyline, as stars retreat, as backs turn, you're on your own, baby. Unwanted, thrown out, red flesh, caught just in time, a second glance by chance, then escaping into golden life, a little rainbow girl sliding across a green rubber sheet. Older age brings wiser shades of grey and other ways of being free. Looking back, bleak black school thoughts of me, my warm tears pressed on cold cream painted stone, still alone, memorizing my poem as punishment, reciting verse in mistress's dark brown lair. But look, there's a silver lining now, indeed, for I birth poetry from my rainbow soul.
And that's Claire. Thank you so much. So we're coming close to the end of round one. I sent a note to Kelsey just in case you haven't seen the chat. I now would like to offer something myself, and then I'll, if we have another one, yes, from Kelsey, and then we can go to round two, and we start round two with Paulo, a poem from Paulo. So this is my own. This is my latest piece. I wrote it on this week, literally 13th of June. So yeah, 4 days ago, reflecting on an incident of 2 days before that. It's a piece of prose, it's a story, and it's completely real. So totally authentic feelings. Gratitude to a bus driver, Route 54. Did you have a similar experience? I was out on a walk through the fields, stopping every so often to sip water, enjoy the abundance of nature's beauty, and allow my mind to wander. Gifting myself some much-needed moments of respite from life's avalanche of to-dos and constant focus-hungry tasks, I was lost in my own bubble of healthy free flow, floating between walking and observing and sipping water and admiring nature. At a certain point, en route that seems new, most probably caused by the multitude of diversions due to roadworks, a public bus was passing me by. The driver, a foreigner, was sharper than usual at taking in the details of the rerouted pathway, despite it being late evening, and made eye contact with me from a distance before he passed by me. When he did, he signaled what to me felt like hi, a greeting. I obviously returned the hand gesture with my water bottle in my hand and smiled. In reaction to what for me was returning the salute, this blessed soul slowed down the vehicle and spoke in gestures to me, quite clearly asking me whether I was seeking to board the bus. This caught me so by surprise that I took a full 3 seconds, eyes fixed in direct contact with his, to process the interaction and realize the driver's impressive act of kindness. Being that the vehicle was moving and I had been asked a question in gestures, I nearly fumbled until I recollected myself and offered a gesture sequence interaction that said, "Oh, how kind of you. Thank you so very much. No, not seeking to board the bus, but thank you very so much for your consideration." The bus driver smiled, nodded, waved, and was on his way, whilst I continued a few steps until the full extent of the kindness act and interaction brought me to a standstill. Turning round and blessing this foreigner whom I never met before with gratitude and appreciation for such an amazing gesture and attitude, I said to myself, "We never met, but you're my brother. Bless you and thank you, dear bus driver of Route 54. Norman Christina, 13 June 2023, at approximately 9 p.m., an hour from now." Now, of course, I'm asking people, thank you for the hearts. I'm asking people to give a context about themselves and the poem or piece that they're offering. So I would, of course, do the same. So my name is Norman Christina. I'm from Malta, right bam in the center of Malta. And for those listening, like either now or later, Malta is an archipelago of 7 islands, bang in the middle of the Mediterranean, 96 kilometers south of Sicily, which is south of Italy. We have like 3 inhabited islands, Malta, the main one, 14 by 27 kilometers, 14 at the widest, 27 at the longest, and that's the biggest of the islands. The next inhabited island is Gozo, 1/3 the size and way less population. And then there's another island which is very inhabited. Yeah, 1 kilometer longest, and there's one family of about 3 people, but it's called inhabited. It's the spot for tourists most of the time. This island is called Comino. So that's the context of where I am. We're quite dense, and I live in Mostap, bang in the center of the island. By the way, the word for love in Maltese is imhabba, which means in the center. And in the center of this town or village, whatever you want to call it, not a city, because we don't have cities in Malta, but anyway, maybe smaller ones, the old style, but basically there's a lot of buildings. However, behind a shopping mall, there is a connection between Mosta and Lia, 2 villages, towns, whatever, away, that goes past fields. And it's extremely short a time for me to arrive there. So I go walking there. I could cross the thing in about 1/4 of an hour, but I make 3.5 hour long walks of going up and coming down and staying and watching and observing. So that's the context of all this. Of course, also the piece that I just shared. It's on this particular walk to cut off from buildings and enjoy the nature, the fields, and a bit of a calmer thing. So that's to give you a bit of a context about the piece I wrote. And this happened like last Sunday, I think it was. What an amazing incident. So last call for any round 1. The person who joined later, I think it was Madonna. We have a lot of Ks today. Keelan, Kiera, and Kelsey. Yeah, do you have anything in the chat to read or something? Okay, so this is the last call. I'm gonna have to move on. You're free
Kelsey's an artist. Kelsey's an artist, but she's come to listen tonight.
Ah,
but
beautiful.
I've suggested that in future meetings, it would be fantastic to look at her art and
Absolutely.
have maybe look at a painting with the inspiration behind it, etc. It would be fantastic.
And we can also connect. So, for example, I've done music to art exhibitions. I'm happy to do writing to art, or maybe some other people here. I don't know. We can like synergize and offer connections. So everybody will have, of course, my email address, because I've sent everyone here, I believe I did, an email. If you have any questions, any suggestions, any requests, like feel free to use that email, and we'll connect people with each other. So that's something I can offer, and I'm very, very happy. And again, God bless Paolo for starting this off, because I think we're on a roll to some like improving quality over time. And in fact, having mentioned Paolo, this is one of Paolo's poems. Paolo passed away, by the way, at the beginning of 2022, and I am continuing his legacy like that. You can share your art today. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. So if you'd like to prepare, we can go after this one if you like, there. All right, it would be a nice break around the middle of the session to have a break from words and go to art if that's possible. Okay, so in the meantime, one of Paolo's poems, which is called To the Light. To the light, not to delight, right? To the light, 3 words. A shrunken person, closed and existing in night's shadows. A sensitive soul rendered helpless by the onslaught of common madness married to time. Can we lose the past? Can we jettison the painful period? Awaken. It's possible to dance again in wisdom and joy, to feel the freedom of knowing and being known. Look deep within for the treasures. Let the seeds now be sown. And that's Paulo's poem. Thank you for listening. All right. So do we have, is it possible to go for the visual
Kelsey's-
aspect?
Yeah. I've made Kelsey a co-host so she can screen share.
Perfect. So Kelsey, would you like to screen share and give us some context about yourself and what we'll be seeing, what we'll be enjoying? And then we can like share the screen and see what's happening. Okay, no
Hi,
problem.
yes. I'm actually going to share some of my photography and it's
Sorry about that, Kelsey. Okay, here we are.
Immediately pause it. I'm not sure if I paused. I meant to share the screen. I think I pressed the wrong one. It's my
Okay,
first time doing this.
no problem, dear. So can I ask you to backtrack a bit so that we actually capture your explanation, who you are and all that, and then go with the share screen and move from there so that we don't
Yes.
lose any content.
Yes, okay. So I'm Kelsey Chambers. I am an artist. I like to do photography and I just like to draw. I have wrote one poem and it's pretty short, but I don't know. I didn't want to really share it, but I do have some photography. I've been taking pictures for 8 years. I started when I was in 7th grade and I just continue to do so. And I just find, peace and joy in that. And then also I've been healing my mind, my body, and my soul. So from that, I actually became more artistic with my own drawing. Before I wasn't really able to draw. I was only able to draw like little circles or boxes, but now I'm able to draw, like flowers or just like more portrait things. So I can show you guys. Can you guys see my screen or no? Oh no, I can't hear anyone.
No, I can't see it. It just says Kelsey Chambers.
Okay. Uh-oh. Oops. My apologies. Okay, so here's one of my jellyfish photos. So I took this back in 2018 or 19, and I don't know, they just really remind me of being lost together with like two people on a journey together and just a starry background. So yeah, but honestly, I like my art to be open to interpretation because sometimes I draw things or I take photos and I'm just like, I wonder why, But yeah, this is one of my favorite pieces.
Thank you for sharing. Wow. I'm looking at it from a mobile device. So yeah, for me, there's a certain size thingy. Would anybody like to offer any interpretations or thoughts or whatever?
It's like a face on the circular bit. It looks as if it's speaking. It looks like somebody lying down, and then it looks like there's a person. It looks like somebody in somebody's arms.
Oh, wow.
You see it? It looks like a person at the bottom, lying and being held in somebody's arms. There, beautiful.
And I was
Thank
just gonna say, I think the picture is gorgeous. Like just the contrast of the jellyfish to the background is just really pretty. Like I can't take my eyes off of it. But it also looks like the jellyfish are sort of dancing with each other. It's like, I don't know, they're connecting in some way, like, because they're all clustered. So it's really pretty.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah. The round with the person's face, it looks as if that smoky stuff coming out is maybe a song, and it's singing to the person in its arms there, like a child.
Wow, thank you guys so much. I have not even I didn't see any of that. Not at all. I
Wow.
don't even see a face.
Wonderful. I'm just lost looking at it, and like I'm on a mobile device, so I'm like I'm the other way of pinching. I don't know what you call it, expanding to see details. Wow, gives me a feeling of like at the same time a garden and outer space. So outer space for the background, pretty obvious, and the I don't know, texture of a lot of parts of it feels like either flowers or leaves or stuff like that. That's where the garden aspect comes in. And right bottom of my screen, it seems as if there's another element there. For some reason, I am having a feeling of rabbit, but I don't know why. And also the obvious resemblance to marine life with the tentacles. That's the like feeling that I am getting.
The picture itself, it could almost be inspiration for a piece of fiction or a poem.
Yeah.
You know, you could use that and run with it. Yeah, do some free writing or yeah.
I agree. Thank you guys so much. It's crazy that you say it looks like a garden because a lot of my drawings, I mostly draw flowers, and I actually share one with you guys real quick.
Okay, you went off from the share screen, of course, just to let you know. My God, yeah, somebody wrote in the chat, taken in. And yeah, that's exactly how we are, taken in. And I hope the audience as well will really enjoy this one. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And excited drum roll for the sharing of the screen. And I have a cajon. Oh, here we are.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, now this one is really up to complete interpretation. Everyone tells me they see so many different things in here. People tell me they see faces, they see garden, they see pain, they see hearts, they see snakes. Yeah, this piece took me 2 days to finish. I don't know. I just kept going and going. I don't know. It was very weird. I don't know how I actually did this.
Wow. Someone in the chat said it's like a whimsical forest. Beautiful, beautiful. I would say for myself or jungle, I would say there's a lot of wisdom there. There's like connection of intelligences, intelligence of nature. Yeah. Mushrooms undergrowth. In fact, that is also another thing. Yeah. Sort of like the wisdom of mushrooms, the mycelia network. Towards the top, I see something that's very close looking to a butterfly, roughly slightly off the middle to the right at the very top.
Yeah.
In terms of actual, like visual seeing. And I understand if people saw or said they saw snakes. I can feel into that as well. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. The way the train linear keeps people searching. Yeah. Wow. Yes, we will. Yes, we will. Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you guys for allowing me to. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome, and this is why we are here. We're holding a space. Thank you so much. So maybe it's time for us to start round two. And for time constraints, I would invite Mervyn to go on first. And then, of course, we'll publish the, so this is information for everybody. I'll publish the recording on my YouTube channel, and I'll send everyone the link for it, okay? And if you don't receive it, you have my email address, because I sent everyone an email. Please do pester me just in case it slips my mind or I don't find your email or something. But without more words, Mervyn, let's get you going and start off round two. Ting, ting, round two, let's start.
Okay. Hopefully there's not too much background noise because it's a little loud in here. This piece is called Seasons Have Reshaped Me. It's part of a 4-poem series. I didn't know where it was going until probably the last poem that I've written of the series. And it is based on a place called Schevenhagen, next to Den Haag. But if you go right across the North Sea, it goes to Suffolk in England, which is where I grew up as a boy. So there is a connection. But I've been going to this place probably the last 20 years. So, all right. Seasons have reshaped me. Seasons have reshaped me. From a winter 15 years past to this summer, returning to this pier. A stage abreast, a century-old hotel, the setting of sanctuary, gaiety, where I once drunk in my mind with sips of the North Sea, mesmerizing on these beach shores of Schevenhagen. My spirit has transformed as the pier's physical self. The pier and I both have discarded decaying skin, unhealthy partnerships. Our drinks are now brighter, sweeter, light enough to study life's simplicity. I am a child at play in a tulip field. I respite. My young son making sand angels with legs and arms, with blazing blue swimsuits, vaults up to unknown 4-year-old girl in pink swimsuits, arm floats, kicking up sand behind bold seagulls, opting not to fly away. On the beach, old belly men wearing Speedos, young sculptured men in spandex, both young and old men's eyes strutting along the sand, chasing tall tanned bikini girls away. Boys kicking a football, women using sand to brush away squealing seagulls. We come here to be free of thoughts, constraints of our daily revolution roping our steps. Seek Pinocchio's dream, life without strings. We come to be vulnerable, naked. The North Sea's waves massaging my thoughts into a calm, while sun blanket embraces me. Waves tap rhythmic patterns against my legs, my eyes clicking through memories, washing melancholy history away. Thank you.
Willa, love it, love it, love it.
Thank you.
Waves typing, that's a nice line there. The waves, the type, interesting connection.
Yep.
Love that. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so Mervyn's second round started. So there we go, round two. Who would like to go next? So could we have, let me see. Shall we go back to Malaysia?
Oh, yeah. Can I share screen?
There we go. Beautiful. I think we're gonna share screen again. Lovely. So that's ready. 6, 7,
Yeah.
8, and 9. There you go. Okay. So yes. Soon. And here we go. There we go. That's coming. Lovely. Perfect. Kira will do that. Yes. Okay. Maybe you
So
go
this
next.
was in reaction to an engineer on in NASA when they first received a picture from Perseverance, one of the Mars rovers. He described in a tweet this rock that you see has a butt crack rock. Yeah, and all the headlines in some of this publication repeated those words. And I thought on behalf of the rock, I should say something. So there's a closer look at the rock. So the poem is called If a, oops, go back. If a rock on Mars cracks open and no one sees it. If a poem is written but never seen, does the universe still read it? If a song is composed but never played, does the universe still hear it? If art is created but never shown, does the universe still appreciate it? If a dream is dreamed but no one remembers it, does the universe still awaken to it? If a rock on Mars cracks open and no one sees it, does the universe still care? Oh, rock on Mars, we earthling scientists no less, discover you after millennia, yet still choose to insult you. Isn't it just typical colonial mentality to make fun of the natives? To infantilize your brokenness, to invalidate your existence, to excavate your insides and rip your Martian heart out? If a rock on Mars cracks open and no one sees it, does the universe still care for you? Yes, it does. I do. You're no one's primal fault. The universe peers into your soul and sees your shiny center. It cradles your alluvial despair in its sturdy hands. It perceives your rough edges as only poetry. It lowers its ear to your fissure and hears you sing. And when it is quiet, late at night, and you cry alone, it lulls you to sleep and paints you a Venusian dream. End poem. Thank you.
Wela, I love the depth of your perception, Julian. Thank you so much. And of course, the kindness to the rock. Beautiful. Thank you so much for that. And thank you also from the rock. So just to check, I've written to some people in the chat, would you like to have a go? Would you have any more poems or contributions? I know we have one from Kira, I believe. Is that so? Would you like to go next, Kira?
Yes, I'm ready.
Good.
And I'm on camera this time.
Perfect.
Okay.
Lovely. Nice smile. Thank you for that. Beautiful.
Alrighty. So this next piece, I recently graduated college about 2 years ago now, and I didn't come back home immediately. I went to school in another state. And then I moved to another state before eventually moving back home. So this is just a piece that sort of encapsulates how I was feeling at the time, and like writing helps me process my thoughts and emotions and my feelings. So here we go. This piece is called You Can't Save Me. And that's based off of a song by an artist here, but it's okay. There are pieces of my heart that break off and scatter themselves around continents. They've been further than my mind can imagine, traveling the distance my stubbornness pushes into it. They each hop on flights, fleeting from their humble home. Home is where the heart is, well, at least it is when it's whole. Vacant pieces of my home are scattered around continents because then they'll be safe. Safe from sabotage or betrayal, uncertainty and sadness, from the intolerance of being stagnant with no room to breathe. To be where the pieces of your heart are, you wonder if they miss you or if they feel a part of something bigger, if they know their partial role in the bigger picture. See through the lens of emotion, capture the Kodak moment and hope it lasts forever. Hoping the feeling you get inside is enough to satisfy that void your pieces left behind. Smile because abandonment is the favorite cousin you get to hang out with at cookouts, and oddly enough, she makes you feel less alone. Letting you take comfort in the thousands of others whose hearts scattered and ran away, leaving a trail of tears behind. My fragments were smarter than that. See, they left without a trace. Knowing a return to sender is the only difference between freedom and captivation. A heart can only shatter so many times before it quits completely. So onto the road it goes to save however much of itself as it has and bids the rest of the pieces adieu. Until the longing begins, the sudden urge to be whole again, to be home again. The confusion takes over. You were sweet on the sedative you took to numb the pain that you didn't notice. Those pieces were yourself, up and left. The original blueprint desensitized, undetected, on contact, unaware it couldn't feel pain. Funny what an astronaut will do when tempted. Funny what an astronaut will do when tempted with the moon. How easily we forget our discipline. How simple it is for history to repeat itself. And that's it.
There you go. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing, and lovely to see you on camera. It's actually even nicer for the recording, just to let you know, like, because apparently when we're performing, so to speak, it's like the screen is only us. And if it's an empty screen, it doesn't look nice. So it's not that appealing for people to want to join. It's nicer when they see our faces and see who we are. So if it's all right, I would like to go next. In the meantime, this is the last chance we have to offer something else if you haven't yet done round two. And so it's me and then Claire, and then we'll go to some music to end. So a small short poem called The Tiny White Dot. Yes, that's me. A tiny white dot right in the center. A speck of concentrated light I am. Circular, perfect, attractive, yet hardly noticeable to some. A revelation to those who awaken to my presence, and absolutely fascinating to those who venture closer. White and bright, I collect the lights. Emerging from within, I am pure, surrounded with powerful pink, for whom I'm grateful. Because albeit tiny and fragile looking, they protect me and we work well together, providing a mesmerizing visual spectacle, a profound experience to whoever stops to gaze deeper. Imbued with beauty and meaning to those who will to ponder. We're all supported, connected, cuddled up cozy, we flourish and bloom. Each one unique and special. Each one a blossom. A flower within the flower. So this is the type of poem in which the title, the meaning or the understanding comes at the end. All right, so let me see what's happening here. Okay, fantastic. So
Will I do mine first while Keelan puts
yes,
his in the chat for me?
Absolutely, dear. No problem. Perfect.
Okay, so this poem is written, it's about a guy and a girl meeting, and they've met at a party, and then they go off and they have a nice time. And so that's what this is about. But it's written from the guy's point of view. It's called Where the Hill Stops. I'll stand at the place where the hill stops, where the climb ends. Come to me, and we can just be for a while. I'll ride at your side past the big rocks where the road bends and the lake starts as the pain ends, and we can be free for a while. I'll walk at your side for a few steps as your arm links easy through mine, and I smile. Then we'll tell of our lives in a few breaths, in the moment as the road climbs, getting closer in the mountains, in the dim light by the deep lake, where the streams rush and fate's placed us. Time to go now on the downbeat. Take me back now. When will we meet? Kiss me more sweet. Time to drive me this way and that in my mind. We'd met in a place and the time stopped, and you showed me and I gave you a part of yourself that was lost. I stood at the edge and I watched you as the beat dropped and my heart stirred, and you watched me as I turned and made for the door. I walked to my place where the hill stops, where the climb ends and the rain pours, as the dawn came, and you've made a place and a space in my heart. I don't understand what you saw there in the dance light, in my bright eyes and my closeness, in my distance, in my curls pulled bun back and my bad boy undercut hair. And I called you and you met me where the hill stops, where the climb ends. You didn't tell me, we didn't know then, that you'd saved me, that I'd saved you. Would it go on? It doesn't matter. I'll always be there, at that place where the hill stops, where the climb ends, when the sun shines, when the rain pours, so you remember what it feels like when two hands touch, when those lips brush. I hold you close at the place where the hill stops, where the climb ends, where it's easy. So slip into that place where the pain stops, where our minds blend. Smile again and step into that place, in the space in my heart.
Thank you so much for sharing. Wonderful poem as always. Lovely reflections, beautiful reading. Thank you so much. Oh, we have somebody joining right now.
Oops. I'm going to do Keelan's now then, okay?
Yes, of course. So now it's Keelan, and in the meantime, we've admitted Michael. Let's see what happens. So this is Keelan. Welcome, Michael. Are you still connecting to audio? Okay, no problem.
Okay, so this is Keelan's and it's called Orpheus. Don't despair over the final realities, when getting there is so fun, so right. Living seems to forgive its outcomes, and each night the opera singer belts her arias regardless. It keeps going on, and the spirits watch the beginnings of spring with held breath. It keeps going on, and the muses wander by the river seeking the Orpheus they lost, and it keeps going on. And truth steps forth from mortality like the rainbows emerge from their prison of rain, and our silent unspoken hopes slip through our pores, through our eyes, and become the voice of God. We are the romanticism that found its way through the outback, over the jutting ridge, past gasping acrid swamps into a soft kingdom of questions without words. We are the last dreams of great men who died in a rapture of synthesis. We are the end of Paris, and what we do will be what Paris meant, so we must find it. The things that art became a creature for, culled its vineyard for. In that way, we'll find the voice of time again. In that way, we'll feel the sky's intended winds again. In that way, we'll see the larger designs that press ever against us, seeking a way into our divine.
Thank you so much, Keelan. Beautiful words. Lovely, lovely. I did send a message in the chat if you can see it. Michael, I know you joined and we're grateful. So if you would like to offer something, now is the time. I'm sorry to be so incredibly short notice. I just want to give you the space if you want it, because we've practically finished our rounds and there's only one item left, that is the closing item. And here we are. Let me see what's happening. Okay, perfect. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you for zooming in, and hello. Absolutely lovely. Thank you so much. So lovely to connect. So if just I repeat for everybody, if you don't receive the email from me with the link of the session, once it's uploaded and processed and stuff, so let's say within a week, please do get back to me. I sent everyone an email. I sent just absolutely everyone an email with the details. Where am I? Ah, here. I sent everyone an email, so we have my email address, so that's sorted, and yeah, so that's it for the moment. And at this point in time, I'm going to like end and wrap up today's session. I thank you so much, everybody. Much appreciated. Beautiful words, lovely poems, and prose and stories and art, blessings. And now it's time to address another sense. And I'm going to take a little bit of a sip because this is something I don't do much of. I see a hand waving. Are you trying to draw our attention because you're muted?
I'm just waving hello and goodbye. See you next time.
Thank you so much, Michael. Beautiful. Beautiful to see you, and lovely. We'll keep in touch, and I'll send the link of the processed of the process session to everybody. At this point in time, I'm going to like adjust my camera and do something I don't very often do. I play and sing, or try to sing, yeah? Anyway, so here it is. Oh, well, I need to get that out of the way. How is the sound? Is sound coming at all?
Yes, but we need advice and help on how to make our sound. We can hear it.
Yeah, for the moment you can hear it. Now, whether it's heard well over time, I don't know. This is also a bit of an experimentation. I'm just going to go for a bit of a slower tune today, so I can actually gauge what's happening with Zoom and the interaction for the sound part. The video seems okay. Let's check the sound. Anyway, in the meantime, whoever is live can enjoy it directly. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. It's not warm when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and she's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away. Wonder this time when she's gone. Wonder if she's gone to stay. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and she's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away. And I know, 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 I know. Hey, leave that thing alone. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Only darkness every day. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and she's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away. Anytime she goes away. Anytime she goes away. All right, so we'll see how it sounds. Hopefully not too bad, but I have a feeling that the rendition might not be that good. Anyway, we're trying to find help. If anybody knows anything that they can suggest, we'll appreciate. I actually like the picture there behind me there, so that's quite interesting. Yeah, let me see. Can I do something about it? No. All right, so next session is Saturday, 15th of July, the third Saturday of the month. That is when we meet. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Claire. Thank you, Julian. Thank you, Kira. Thank you, Keelan. Thank you, Kelsey, Michael, and Mervyn. And whoever else was joining and was just watching, these are the participants. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for watching later. And absolutely, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So can we stop the recording and then we can continue talking maybe? Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. Thank you, everybody. See you next